Good morning. Welcome to the Mystic Homestead. I'm Dario, and I wanted to show you the earliest rays of sun here in our new greenhouse while we still have a bunch of starts in there. So I'm going to walk you over to the greenhouse now and we'll take a peek. So as many of you know, we've combined the yards between where we live now and my childhood home, where my mom Renee still lives, and hence the chicken yard in between the yards where a fence used to be. But the greenhouse we decided to put out where we used to have an old shed because there was already a 9x10 foundation there. So it's over on her side, tucked there in the northeast corner where it gets lots of morning sun and lots of southern exposure. Let's go take a look. So coming through the yard here into the original garden plot, we see our greenhouse. So we took our squash out earlier this week and zinnias to harden off. We're gonna be planting those today. And then you can see, we'll enter in here and take a peek. So here we are, let's see, 60 degrees. It's about 38 outside. So it's a really nice temperature. I would imagine it was probably more like 55, 51 before the sun really hit it. It warms up quick. So lots of tomatoes going in this weekend. Cucumbers, artichokes, some seedlings coming up. Nasturtium, the Spanish flag, is going to be a really beautiful trellising flower. We're going to do a big batch of pickling cucumbers this year. Some herbs, some leeks. Of course, we do have a lot of things already in the garden that I'll show you at another time. A couple of the cool features here though. So this old repurposed window is just a beaut, and it's an amazing ventilation machine. Opens right up. Came out of an old mansion in the South Hill. You know, and then a couple of beauty windows that look out over the alleyway, old repurposed door, and then this huge window here, which is a really nice kind of filtered light to complement all the polycarbonate that we built the majority of the house with. And this is probably my favorite feature right here, which is a little contraption. It's called an auto vent, and it's basically a wax-filled piston. As it contracts and expands, opens that vent in the roof, in the ceiling there. So that is really an amazing element to any home build. Highly recommend that tool. So we will be planting the main garden this weekend. Just wanted to give you a little brief tour of the first season here in the greenhouse. It was a late season after all because we didn't finish until only about a month ago. And while we're here at the greenhouse, I thought I'd show you a couple of the other things happening on this side of the yard. So the original raspberry patch is now tucked behind here. It's always been a great producer. This Egyptian walking onion just always kind of comes back here. We mostly been cutting it for greens. And then we have a new tree in our yard, which is this pear tree. It came from our neighbors. They were redoing their fence, and so we brought this pear tree over this season. It is one of these kind of mutant trees. It has 4 or 5 different varieties grafted onto it. So it should be interesting. Here's our original peach, which is on its last year. It's been slowly dying off. It's got disease, and it's broken massive amounts of branches throughout its life. And we just mostly keep it for beauty, although it does produce really well still. So this is its on year. I'm expecting some good fruit. And then here's the cooler weather veggie area that my mom takes care of primarily. So carrots, radishes, beets. And then she also plugs in some broccoli and a couple of tomatoes and peppers on her side as well. Although we primarily do the hot weather on our side. So you can start to see some seedlings coming up. This little area here looks pretty promising. Now these are the lettuces over here too, so we have lettuces on both sides of the property. But These are going to make some great homestead salads here soon. So there we are, the east side of the yard. Beautiful flower garden here. Some marigolds coming from the nursery that will be plugged in this year. But as time goes on, we will do more and more of our own seeding, which is really exciting. Still supplementing a lot of our seedlings with nursery plants, which is fine too. Love to support the local nurseries. Okay, heading back home.